Okay. Hi, I'm giving the devotional this week. I've done so many takes. It's embarrassing. I'm going to get into it. Hello, I love you guys. I hope you're doing well. But yes, I'm going to give you the devotional and I'm getting into it. So basically, I'm just going to kind of touch on some things that I feel like the Lord's really shown me and reminded me, and so basically something that's really we hear literally all the time probably, but it's really easy to just know it in our heads but not fully recognize it in our hearts, is that Jesus truly is the only thing that can fully satisfy and bring fulfillment to our lives. Because we've had so many things taken away these past few weeks. We've had, school, friends, even certainty for the future. So many things have just gone out the window, and but because we have Jesus, we have the promise that we can still have the fullest, most abundant life with him. Even isolated in our homes, we are not missing out on one thing that life has to offer because we have him, and because we have just the ability to spend time with him and to really just tap into who he is and what he has for us. And that's the only thing we could ever need. Yeah. But in John 14, 8, it says, Philip said, "Lord, show us the Father, and that will be enough for us." So truly, the Lord is enough. And even in this time of so much anxiety and doubt, he is our source of life and ultimately our source of peace. He gives a peace that surpasses all understanding. So it doesn't make sense to have peace during this time, obviously, because it just seems that every day you hear something else just bad that's happening. But we can have peace in the midst of it because we know our God is bigger, and we know he is completely in control. This virus did not take him by surprise. It submits to him on the daily, and he truly is just our source of peace, and just knowing and resting in the fact that he has the whole world in his hands, So that was kind of my, first little point. Something that the Lord really reminded me is that the world tells us we use so many things to live a fulfilled life, but truly he is the only thing. And that's so important to remember during these times, because we have a choice right now to invest all of this time that we have. I know I have a lot of time. And we can either invest that time into the Lord and what he has for us during this season, or we can really invest our time in things of this world, like Netflix, social media, sleeping all day, stuff that I have done. But it's truly I'm just gonna keep going. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, okay, so we have two options. And I know during this time, these past few weeks, I have taken both options. I have had those days where I'm literally watching so much Netflix, so many episodes of whatever, scrolling through social media every 10 minutes, and then just maybe spending 10 minutes with the Lord at night. And those days, compared with the days where I'm being intentional about spending time with the Lord and really investing the time that he deserves, the difference is just outstanding. My attitude, my just outlook, my the way I treat my family is just so different. And that just goes to show how important it is, what we choose to spend our time in during these times where we have just an option to kind of waste our day away doing nothing, which is something that I'm definitely speaking to myself. But because Jesus truly is, like I said before, the only one who can fulfill and satisfy us. And someone told me once, what we pay attention to and what we invest in is what we love. And that really hit home for me, because how many times have I like put Netflix and just like consuming entertainment, like I just pour hours into that and then don't do the same for Jesus. And that just shows that I love just being entertained, you know. That's something that I put above him, which is sad and something that I have to realize and work on. But yeah, so just with that, just being sure to invest this time into Jesus, because I know I want to be able to look back in a few months, or hopefully, you know, after all this is over in these past few weeks and months, and just not feel like I wasted it away, you know, doing whatever. And I really hope that I can look back and just be thankful for this time. And even in the midst of everything, I can look back and just be glad for it, because I grew so much in my relationship and really discovered the Lord on so many new levels. And so with that, I just wanted to talk for a couple minutes just on like quiet times, and because obviously we have so much time for them now, and just things that I kind of believed and thought about them, and things that were just wrong and I was like feeling bad for, but I had no reason to. So basically, for a long time, I always thought my quiet time had to look a certain way, had to be done like at the same time of the day. You know, I always felt like I had to journal for this amount of time, read my Bible for this amount of time, pray for this amount of time, and then that's like check quiet time. But if you're just doing it to like get that check mark, it's not serving its purpose. I'm like not a waste of time, but honestly, it could be so much better. Because when you're truly like investing your time with Lord, however like that looks to you, like I am not a huge fan of journaling, like I never have been. And so I would always like feel the need to like force myself to sit down and like to journal, but that's just not something that I like, that's not how I like connect with the Lord. And like everybody can connect in a different way. And so it's okay that if yours doesn't look like the person next to you or your friends, because we all can come to the Lord however we want, and it can look different. And it doesn't have to look a certain way. It can be like whenever you have time, like in your car, listening to worship, being in nature, just, you know, going on walks, praying. It, you know, it doesn't have to be this just kind of like religious obligation that you can check off your day. As long as you're investing time in him and spending time with him, you know, that's good. Obviously be in the word and be praying. But yeah, just something that I always thought and kind of struggled with was that. Also, just another really quick thing is that your quiet times don't always have to be this like mountaintop experience. I know I would always kind of like, not intentionally, but unintentionally like think that I would come out of it like, oh, I didn't get this like profound word from the Lord. I don't feel like a brand new person. You know, I didn't have this like crazy revelation every time that I had a quiet time. And that's just honestly reality. And it's not going to be this crazy like feeling every time. And that's something that I kind of had to realize, because he is a God that's so much more than just our feelings. Like he is, I don't know, he's just so much bigger than that. And he's not going to, or we're not going to have this like giant mountaintop experience, like I said, every quiet time, because that's just not reality. And so I don't know, I would kind of feel like I did something wrong if I didn't have this intense like feeling or this intense like thing that I learned coming out of it. Honestly, it's just enough to spend time with him every day, and through that, like the differences in your life, like they will come, and those like fruits of the Spirit will begin to show themselves in your life, like in the little things, because that's just how he works. But if you do have a crazy experience every time, cool, like let me know, that's awesome. But yeah, so basically that's kind of my spiel and what I wanted to say, and just encourage y'all to truly like use this time to invest in the Lord. And be able to look back on this season of COVID-19 and be thankful for it. Be thankful for how you grew, how you discovered the Lord. Yeah, and just, that's basically it. Yeah. Hope that made sense. I love you guys. Can't wait to see y'all next year, or in the fall, I guess. Yep. Praying for you. Have a good week. Do good in school.